Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Weekend Roundup. Today we're going to take a look at all the mods newly released in the Giants Mod Hub for the week of September 30th through October 4th, 2019. Now this was an interesting week where we had, yet again, a ton of mod updates. We had several placeables get released. In fact, I think we might have had more placeables get released this week than we did vehicles or implements. Also had a few new maps show up. A couple quite interesting maps, to say the least. Let's go ahead and jump over to the Mod Hub and start taking a closer look. So last week we ended with the Brussels and Lod A41 forklift adapter, and this week started out with an update to the Swiss Future Farm Special Award map. Now I was interested because I saw this in the updates thread for several weeks, and I honestly thought it was the Oxygen David version of this map, because he is the one that did win the Swiss Future Farm Special Award. So I figured that he was updating that map because he has 6 months, I believe, from the date of winning that contest to complete the map. So I was kind of expecting that map to have been completed and uploaded, but then we see this get released, and this is the DD Mod Passion version of this map, so that was quite a surprise. We have the Sesons Austria GEO get released. Then we have Dresdenhof map get released. An update to the Case IH Puma CVX with TerraTrax. Walker Farms got updated. The HTZ 17221-21 was updated. We have some placeable spruce trees by Realismus Modding. We also have a pallet box and increased fuel consumption by Realismus Modding. We have an interesting placeable gate got released. The Lemken Kristall 9-350 was released. We've got a skid steer loader from Black Sheep Modding that got released this week, and another map, Oasis Springs. This is quite an interesting map. The theory behind it is an oasis in the middle of the desert, and in the middle of the oasis, we've got this pyramid that is spewing water out of the top. Quite an interesting map. An update to the farm buildings pack. We have then a prefab, metal gates, and fences. And prefabs are mods that are available for mod authors, map authors, to use in Giants Editor. They're not things that you would place in your game directly. Back over to page 1 of the Mod Hub. We then have an update to the Blizzard Rumbler van. Blizzard Cattleman was updated, as was the Contractor mod. PGR Swinlow was updated. Have the Agri Farm map was updated. We have the Vazel pack updated. Annenberger HTS 3416 was updated. And then we have a Hampshire GEO that was released. We have the Farmet Kompaktomat was updated, or was released. And then we start with the GTX mods. He was busy this week, indeed. We have the wool storage building. We have hand plant saplings. We have bale stacks. We have shelf storage. We have egg storage hut. And then if we were to jump forward, we have the Krone Swadro 2000, all by GTX. We have the John Deere 7R was released. Updated, we have the garage with workshop trigger and a swimming pool for decoration get updated. The Lemken Heliodor 9/600 was updated. We have a shed. We have bunker silo set was newly released. An ITS winter pack. So the Syntrack by ITS was one of the mods that was a contest mod. This is an add-on pack for the Syntrack. It is the ITS winter pack. Basically, it includes a salt spreader. This does require seasons to be activated to use. And then we have an Upper Austria GEO. So we don't just have the Austria GEO, we have an Upper Austria GEO got released. And then rounding out the week, we have the Köckerling Allrounder cultivator also getting released this week. Let's jump over here and check the daily updates and mods in testing thread. Now, this thread was last updated on Wednesday. So we're going to see some mods here like the ITS Winter Pack. We're going to see the Upper Austria GEO. We're going to see some of these maps that got updated and released already this week. And then we've got some other mods that are listed here as in testing that were not yet released or updated this week. All in all, we have 154 mods pending testing. That's not this list. That's 154 mods, and then this list waiting to be released. And there's an approximate 11 workday backlog from when a mod would be submitted until it would be expected to enter testing. So with that, let's go ahead and jump back in game and get started, taking a little closer look at all of the mods that were newly released this week. First up, we have the John Deere 7R. This mod is by Lucas 2002, and we can find it here under large tractors. So we have the in-game 7R, $238,000, 31 miles per hour, 269 horsepower. See that we can basically adjust the tires here. Trelleborg, Michelin. We can go standard, rear twins, wide with weights, wide tires, wheel weights, and back to standard. We have the 7230R, the 7250R, 7270R, and the 7290R as far as our options. So the 7310R, 7230R, 250R, 270. Yeah. Okay. So that's what we've got as far as the standard in-game 7R. Now let's take a look here at the 7R mod. It's 31 mile per hour, 269 horsepower, but is only $208,000. In addition to that, we have some other options. We can change the rim color. We can change the design color. But that's changing. Let's change it to... All right, I'm not seeing it change. I'm thinking that might be front loader arms. No. Let's see, is it changing the top here on the GPS module? That's what it's changing. Okay, then we have the main color. Green, Black Beauty, Communal are darker green. Let's go ahead and move up here. We have Trelleborg, standard, wide, wheel weights, wide with weights, rear twins, twins all around. We have Michelin, standard, wide, wheel weights, wide tires with weights, rear twins all around, back to standard. We have Midas, standard, wide, wheel weights, wide with weights, rear twins all around, back to standard. We have design, no terminal. Let's look inside. Terminal. So we get this terminal that pops in. Design standard. Back fender. See the fenders get a little bit wider here. Warning signs. Warning signs at back fender. Back to standard. This engine setup, the 7230R, 7230R silver, 7250R, 50R silver, 7270R and 70R silver, 7290R are silver, 7310R and silver version of that. Then we have the front loader attacher. We have the alloy attacher, or no. There you go, guys. That is the 7R series, I should say. So as configured, it's $209,750, $10,697 to lease, $2,097 per day, and $4,404 per operating hour. on in. Looked like we had an animated steering wheel. We do indeed. We have an animated foot throttle. We have a forward and reverse lever up on the steering column. Then we have an animated, I guess, hand throttle on the command arm. We have mouse control, so there's the terminal plugged in there. See what the mouse controls do. Left and right, mouse button held down. And then up and down. Opens and closes the rear. Left and right. Opens and closes the left door. Check our lights. First stage lights, second stage and third stage lights. We have our beacons for 4 ways. Left and right on those. Brake lights. There you go, guys. That is the John Deere 7R, again by Lucas 2002. This mod is available for all platforms. Next up, we're going to take a look at the John Deere JD90 skid steer loader by Black Sheep Modding. This mod is also available for all platforms, and we're going to find this mod here under skid steer loaders. So the standard New Holland is the L218, $35,000 for the wheeled version. And the John Deere 90 in the wheeled version is $25,000, 71 horsepower. We have a choice of rim color, yellow and black. And then we have the choice of with warning triangle or without. And we have design standard or forestry edition. So as configured, this is $25,000, $1,275 to lease, $250 per day, and $525 per operating hour. Let's see if we've got any John Deere specific skid steer loader implements. We have the universal shovel, $600, 1,200 liters. Let's compare that to the in-game high dump bucket of $4,000 and 1,284 liters. This one is significantly cheaper and holds just about the same amount. Let's go over here and take a look at this. Looks pretty good. Got a hitch on the back. I wonder if you can actually use this as a... Wouldn't know if you... I don't think you'd want to use this to hook up to something. Take a look inside. It's interesting. The left pedal is operating as if it's the throttle. We have our little hand sticks to steer with. We have the middle pedal acting as a brake. There are light indicators. Go ahead and check. First stage lights, second, and there we go. So we have forward and reverse lights. That's about it. No brake or reverse lights. Wouldn't really expect those. Beacon. Got an animated fan in there on the engine. Animated controls on the dump bucket. Let's go ahead and get a trailer and just see if this actually works as a hitch. A little curious. These, well, no. Get one of these. This is the pin hitch. And we'll get one of these, which is a kind of a lower hitch. I wouldn't expect it to move the second one because, I mean, all of these are way too big. I mean, seriously, that is just way too big. So with either hitch, in theory, yeah, you're not going to be pulling this around. Loader or skid steer. Let's just see if there's anything in here under miscellaneous that might work. It's all the Syntrax stuff. So there you go, guys. That is the JD or John Deere skid steer loader, JD90 by Black Sheep Modding, and it is available for all platforms. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Lemken Kristall 9350. So let's get rid of these trailers. This mod's going to be found here under Cultivators and is by ETA La Machoice. Go to Cultivators. We have the Lemken Kristall 9350, $17,150 to buy, $874 to lease, $171 per day, and $360 per operating hour. This has a 3.5 meter working width and requires 125 horsepower. Take our John Deere and just head on down to the test field. Give it a quick drag through the dirt. And see how it works. Throw her down. Drag, take a look at the particle effects, animations. Everything looks good. Alright guys, that is the Lemken Kristall 9-350 by ETA La Machoice. This mod is available for all platforms. Alright, so next up we're going to take a look at the Köckerling Allrounder Profiliner 850 by Nicopix. This mod can be found once again here under Cultivators. And this looks an awful lot like Cultivator from Farm Sim 17. I don't see it in the base game of 15, so I really do believe this came over from 17. You can see that it's 8 meter working width, 9 miles per hour, and requires 280 horsepower. You have the option of standard wheels or standard wheels. Basically, we are getting two different types of wheels. $74,000 to buy, $3,774 to lease, $740 per day, and $1,554 per operating hour. Now, since this requires a bit more horsepower, we're going to use our Fendt 900 that we've got up here, the 930. This mod is available for all platforms, if I have not already said so. And once again, we're going to head down to our test field and give this mod a bit of a drag through the dirt. see this thing unfold. Does not have hose hookups. Go, working quite nicely. Here to this plow texture because I noticed something earlier with this mod. So we have cultivator here, that, have that, okay. Just making sure because I knew we had the cultivated texture all the way across, even before we got to the rollers on the back of the cultivator. Just wanted to look at that a little bit closer. Feels dirty up pretty quick with this mod. There you go, guys. That is the Köckerling Allrounder Profiliner 850 by Nikopix. And up next we have the Farmet Kompaktomat K 300N. This is yet another cultivator, so this completes our trio of cultivators for this week. This is by Josh Models, and this mod is available for PC only. Go to cultivators once again. We have the Farmet Kompaktomat K 300, $9,370 to buy. 3 meter working width, 95 horsepower requirement. Get it without warning signs or with a warning sign. So these little signs remain no matter what. It's just with or without a triangle sign. As configured, $9,470, $482 to lease, $94 per day, and $198 per operating hour. Let's go back into our John Deere and once again take it down to our test field to give it another drag through the dirt. So I thought we'd take a little closer look at the mod itself before we drug it down through the dirt. Pretty nice graphics on this. Even the little warning signs are clear. This does have electrical hookups, because we do have basically lights are attached to it. Let's lower the mod down and off we go. Looking pretty good. Looking for a small, cheap cultivator. This mod might just fit the bill. Alright guys, that completes our trio of cultivators. We're going to run back to the shop and take a look at our next mod. Alright, next up we're going to take a look at the Krone Swadro 2000. This is a windrower by GTX, and this mod is available for all platforms. So if we go to tools and then windrowers, we have of course the Kuhn V-Rake, I'll call it. That is 8.5 meters. Then we have the Hibiscus 1515, which is 14.8 meters. We have the Merge Max at 9.1 meters, and then we have the Krone Swadro at 19 meters working with, 11 miles per hour, $74,000. So she is an expensive one, not near as expensive as the Merge Max. 145 horsepower requirement. Change the tires. We have Trelleborg standard tires or Michelin tires. We have Design Standard. Design 1 that doesn't have that center backing there. Design 2, Design 3, Design 4, Design Standard, Design 1, Design 2. Note on Design 2, it is now a 3-point hitch option. Sorry, they're all 3-point hitch options. But basically, Design 1, we've got the warning labels here, warning signs, and without that center bit here, we've got warning signs on the back. Design 2 has that. Design 3 does not. Design Standard. Strobe lights. There's a beacon. Strobe lights. Sure. Standard. Oh, okay. So right here. Nothing. Strobe lights. We've got these little lights here. Let's leave the strobe lights on. Let's just run with that configuration. So it's $74,340 to buy. As configured, $3,791 to lease, $743 per day, and $1,561 per operating hour. Let's go ahead and get back into our John Deere, since that is the mod that is released this week. I went ahead and went up to a grass field and did 2 passes with the Big M mower. Left a wide swath down. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this bad boy up there and just see how wide of a windrow we can really break together. So I believe that the Big M is 9.1 meters in working width. Just go ahead and check that out here. Go to mowers. Big M is 9.9 meters in working width. Just under 10 meters. So 2 passes is 20 meters. Just under 20 meters of grass cut. This is supposedly 19 meter working width, so we should be able to windrow nearly 2 full passes with the Big M into 1 windrow with this massive rake. So I'll be right back with you once we get up to the field. Guys, so let's go ahead and unfold this thing. See how massive it is. It all folds down and then front just wings out. You can see the 2 Big M passes there, and this thing is just going to gobble them up. Oh my gosh, just drive right down the middle. This thing. Let's lower the rake. Lower in order. On. Off we go. Basically, we are windrowing nearly 2 full passes with the Big M into 1 massive windrow. This rake is surely going to cut down on your grass making, baling up straw, just about anything that you need into a windrow. This thing is going to cut down the time you're going to take to rake it, time it's going to take to bale it, and time it's going to take to get it up off the field, because your bales are going to be all in a nice line together. It's going to be less line of bales, but basically less driving around the field to pick them up. Big catch is making sure that you've got enough space to get this thing turned around. Speaking of turning, you can see the rear axles do turn on this, so that does aid in making it a bit narrower of a turning radius. Take a look at that. Just a little bit of grass was left over here on the side. We basically swathed up 2 full passes with the standard in-game Big M. Right, next up, we are going to basically activate Seasons and check out the ITS Winter Pack with the Syntrack mod. Alright guys, we are back and we have Seasons activated, so now we can take a look at the ITS Winter Pack by ITS. This mod is available for PC only, does have some requirements, so a prerequisite for the ITS Winter Pack is the Syntrack mod itself and Seasons, of course. Let's go ahead and get the Syntrack. I'm trying to remember where it was. Let's go ahead and pick up the Syntrack. Just leave it standard as is. Let's go here to Tools, Miscellaneous, and we have the Salt Spreader S. Let's go ahead and get that. Get Design None, or Winderdist, Springer, back to None. Go ahead and get both of those, I guess. Lease that up. $38,200 to buy, $1,948 to lease, $282 per day, and $802 per operating hour. This has an 8-meter spread on it, 31 mile per hour working speed, and 3,500 liters of salt is able to be stored on this. So let's go ahead and get a pallet of salt. It's a big bag of salt. Holds 1,000 liters. And let's see if I can remember how this thing works. Let's connect to that. Let's fold it back up. Let's fill it with salt. Right, and then basically, since this is a salt spreader, we don't really have any snow on the ground. Well, I guess I could add snow. Let's do that. Just wait for that to populate up. There she comes. Alright, now we have snow, we can turn it on. And you can see we are now removing our salt. 31 miles per hour, we can pretty much clear a pretty big clear a whole lot of salt or a whole lot of snow pretty darn quick with our Syntrack. You guys, there you go. That is the ITS Winter Pack by ITS. Requires Seasons and the Syntrack mod to operate. Alright, so when we come back, we'll take a look at the Pallet mod and basically other placeables that are released this week. Next up, we're going to take a look at Pallet Box by Realismus Modding. This mod is available for PC only, and this is an interesting one. So we all know that if we use the belt mod, or the belt here, where is it at? Belts. We all know if we use the grimy RH2460 and we put sugar beets or potatoes in this, it will basically make boxes of sugar beets or potatoes. Well, what this mod does is it changes that up a little bit. You now buy empty boxes. You buy a fillable pallet right here, $50 to buy. Holds 1,000 liters of product. Let's go ahead and buy a couple. And also makes the boxes that spawn by the grimy RH2660. Now what's going to cost you some money when those pallets spawn. So it's going to cost $50 a pop every time one of those boxes spawns to fill with potatoes. And these boxes are now reusable. Let's go ahead and get a trailer and we'll show you how this conceptually is going to work. It's a flatbed. And we're just going to go ahead and get a telehandler because I can load a lot quicker with that. And what we now have are reusable boxes that can be filled and then sold or emptied in a trailer. Okay, so we're not going to go to a potato harvest or potato field and harvest potatoes and fill this. Basically going to fill it from a modded testing silo that I use and show you how it works. And you will also get a 50% bonus if you sell potatoes out of these boxes at a sell point. Okay, so if you take potatoes to a sell point in these boxes on a trailer, you will get 50% more than if you took the same number of potatoes to that sell point with just a trailer. Strap these down. Now these are fillable. We could fill these from a bucket. Fill them basically by running them underneath of a potato harvester. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to come over here and fill it from this silo. In fact, it looks like it holds all kinds of fill types. Just checking the store. Yep, fillable pallet holds all of the standard in-game fill types. I'm not seeing that work. We'll do this. Maybe. Okay. Alright, so we're going to fix that problem. Use this handy dandy spawn right here. 2,000 liters of dip on ground potatoes. 2,000 liters. Right, so now we have 2,000 liters of potatoes. So it's a bucket. I'd venture to guess that I couldn't fill those boxes from that silo because they were simply strapped. That. Alright, so we've got 2,000 liters of potatoes. Go. Let's see if the restaurant, it's right here. See if the restaurant accepts potatoes. Yes, indeed. And let's go down here and figure out how much money we expect we should get. And then we'll see how much money we actually do get. So if we look here, we have a price of $396 per 1,000 liters. Okay, so that's pretty simple math, right? So 396 times 2. So we should get $792 at base price. But if we get 50% more, because we're selling it from the potato boxes, we should get $1,188 from this sale. So let's see what we get. Is $792, or do we get $1,088? I think we're suffering a little bit. Ignore that. That's got to be a deep one. I have to be experiencing a rather interesting bug right here. Let's grab this. Grab the pallets, forks again. Thinking because I'm using the trailer, which is modular, and you could be, a trailer, or it could be a flatbed. But somehow it's putting potatoes on a flatbed, and obviously you shouldn't have potatoes on a flatbed. I'm just going to use little forks. Do this transaction. Again, remember, we're going to either get $792 or $1,188. So we got $596 a piece. So let's go check that out. $596 times 2 is $1,192. So that is much closer to $1,188 that I was expecting to get. as a result of that 50% bonus. Let's say indeed we got our 50% bonus, and then a little bit more. Guys, that might have been a little fluky, a little wonky, but that is basically the gist of the fillable pallet, or the Pallet Box by Realismus Modding. So you can buy empty, reusable boxes. You can fill with any fill type, and specific to potatoes, you get a 50% bonus if you sell potatoes out of these boxes at a sell point as compared to having them in a standard trailer. And then also, if you often use the grimy RH2660 belt to basically palletize potatoes or sugar beets, it will now be charged every time a box spawns using that particular implement. So guys, that is going to do it. So for the vehicles and implements boxes, well, they don't kind of fit in any of that, but I just thought I would toss them in. We're going to take a little break. We're going to head up to our placeable field, where we're going to start talking about the placeable mods that were released this week. So guys, next up we have the Metal Gate by Stoneway Design. This mod is available for all platforms, and we're going to find this here under Placeables, and then miscellaneous. We have the Metal Gate, $950 to buy, $2 a day. Let's go ahead and rotate that. You can see it rotates almost on its center. Put it down. Do get a bit of a dirt texture with the gate, and we left click, and the gate basically goes down into the ground. We drive over the gate, then we click close, the gate lifts up bottom. This would be a really good gate if you've got something where you really can't, you don't have room for the swing. You don't have room for the gate to swing all the way open, which of course is going to take a lot of extra space, especially if it's one big gate. It's two gates, you're going to have space on both sides. This is a really nice gate because, well, you don't need any extra room. It just goes up and down vertically. The sound is a little odd, a little wonky with that, but still. That is the Metal Gate, again by Stoneway Design, and it is available for all platforms. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Plantable Spruce Trees, again by Realismus Modding. This is going to be basically here under Pallets. So we have Pallet Saplings. That is the standard pallet, standard plantable trees, and basically we can now plant spruce trees also. $1,000 to get 20 spruce trees. Let's go ahead and buy that up. And we went ahead and bought a tree planter here. Go ahead and hook up to our tractor. Load up with our trees, and we're going to head down to our test field real quick and basically take a look at how these things go in the ground and what do they look at like in the first stage of growth. I have to say, when I first saw this mod, I thought they were placeable spruce trees, not read 100%. They are actually plantable spruce trees. Now let's turn it on, and off we go. Tire helper. Let's see our planted spruce trees. Here we go, guys. That is once again by Realismus Modding and is available for PC only. All right, keeping with the tree planting theme, we're going to take a look at hand plant saplings now. Now, I did a standalone mod review for this, but we're going to just cover it real quick here. If you want to get more detail, go check out my hand plant saplings mod review in my mod review playlist. What we're going to do is we're going to find this mod here under miscellaneous. We have the hand plant samplings box, $3,400. Let's run this down here where we have our spruce trees. Rotate this around. And let's rotate this. You can see the box rotates on its center. Let's put it right here at the field side. Go. Doesn't do any ground leveling. It basically has a base that it puts down. And the way this works is we walk up to this and we basically hit R to take the equipment. And we have a shovel and a bag. What we need to do is we'll need to come over here to a pallet and we'll need to remove the saplings. We can have 10 trees in our bag at any point in time. We can go back here to the box. We can go add numpad plus. Add 10 trees to storage. Come back here and get 3 more. Now we have basically 3 more trees. And the way this works is we just walk to where we want to put the tree in. And we left click. So we have animations on the shovel. 2 scoops of dirt, and we have a tree. Now if we walk, see the numbers changing. Can't put a tree any closer than 2 meters. We can put the tree wherever we want at this point. Left click. 2 scoops of dirt, and the tree is planted. Walk some more. Left click. And the tree is planted. Now our backpack is empty at this point. You can see in the F1 menu it says it's empty. Come back here to our box. And we can basically hit numpad minus to remove spruce trees or remove our saplings basically from storage. Now we have them in our backpack. At that point we can put our backpack back. Turn the equipment and you can see that basically we have little tree saplings in our bag. We've got a little bit of dirt in our bag. And we've got some tree saplings here on the side. Our shovel is there. And that is basically the hand plant saplings mod. Basically intended so you can literally take a walk through the woods and plant your saplings wherever you want. Now the numbers that are at the bottom represent the distance since the last tree that you planted. It's not the distance to the closest tree, it's just the last one planted. Go. You'd be kind of hard pressed to do this with the tree planter. It's pretty much good for planting trees in straight lines, and that is about it. Alright, I think you guys get the point. So that is the hand plant saplings mod, again, by GTX. Alright, up next we have the bunker silo set by Top Ace 888. This mod is available for all platforms and is a set of silage bunkers. Description in the mod hub says that each bunker should hold approximately 300,000 liters of product. Of course, we have our standard in-game bunkers, small solo, the medium solo, and the large solo. We have the double solo, double medium, and double large. And then we have the modded single bunker silo. Let's go ahead and run this up here to our test plot, placeable test area. See, we can put it down at 1 of 4 different angles. Put that one down. And then the double. We can put down, and then the triple. put down. So. And these all give you a nice used, dirty look. We've got a nice drain grate in the front. We've got our trigger. See the chaff. Chaff trigger's gone. Here we are. Yeah, these are supposedly going to hold about 300,000 liters of product each. Really nice cracked concrete texture there. Kind of scraped concrete here at the front. Here we have a double bunker. And of course the triple bunker is just all that much more. And what's nice about, I like about the triple bunker is the concrete has different textures in each bunker. They're not the same textures in each individual bunker. So here we've got like a patch of concrete that is missing. It's loose. We've got the cracks pattern. Got a bit of dirt there in that corner. If we go here to the middle bunker, see we've got a completely different pattern. Dirt is kind of over here now. And then in this one, we've got yet another different pattern where we've got the missing concrete over here. I like how they're all different, and that basically the double bunker, it looks a little bit like, it looks an awful lot alike, but I think this cracked patch is different over here. I like that they are a bit different from each other. So up next, we've got the Shed by Agritechnic Nordfile. This mod is available for all platforms. Go to Sheds. Of course, we have 3 easy sheds. Then we have this shed, $1,500, $5 a day. Nice small shed. We put it down, we get a bit of a dirt texture there underneath of it. And it's basically just a canvas. It's like a canvas and steel tubing shed. Description says it's perfect for pallet or bale storage, or if you just had a small vehicle, a truck, small tractor, a couple small tractors, use this as a cheap way of getting them out of the weather. Nice wear on everything. Alright, up next we're going to take a look at the Bale Storage, or Bale Stacks mod. This is another mod that I did a dedicated mod review on earlier this week. If you want a lot more detail on this mod, go check out that mod review over at the mod review playlist. This mod is available for PC only, and we go to placeables and then miscellaneous. And we have a square straw, hay, grass, and silage bale stack. We also have a round straw, hay, grass, and silage bale stack. Let's go ahead and just put down, it's going to put down one of each. We're going to put down a straw stack, and we're going to put down a round silage bale stack, okay? And this is basically how it works. If we take a look here at the F1 menu, see the square bale stack holds 168 bales, whereas the round bale stack holds 110 bales. If we hit R, we can open the menu. See a visual representation of the type of bales this holds. Object tells me that we have 0 bales in storage. We can hold 110, 0 liters, and fermenting. So this does work with respect to seasons if we wanted, or if we were basically storing silage bales. Let's go ahead and get round silage bales. Let's pop in a few. So we just spawned a few using the easy developer controls. So let's go here and open the menu again. Now we have 12 bales. Each bale is 4,000 liters, so we have a total of 48,000 liters of product. We could put bales in here at different volumes. So we can have some bales that were 4,000 liters, some bales that were less. And this will basically tell you what the next bale to come out. what its capacity is, and then we have the total capacity of all of the bales in the stack. Come down here, you can pick to eject one of 12, or up to 12. So let's eject one. Hit confirm. And we have one bale over here now. And we have 11 bales in the stack. If we come back here, we can see now we can eject 0 of 11. Picked 4 bales. There we have 5 total bales. And now we can only eject 7. Not just because we have 7 left in the stack, because we only have space for 7 more here. So something else to note about these silage stacks, these are all yellow or white in color. If you had silage bales of different wrap color, if you put them in the stack, you would see the different wrap color appear here. All of these stacks operate in what I call a last in, first out mode, meaning the last bale that you put into the stack will be the first bale that it brings out. You eject them. Let's go ahead and basically fill this one up with bales real quick, and you'll basically see how it looks. We're just going to spawn in a bunch of bales. You'll see how it basically stacks them. See, it does alternate the bales per stack. So, just see we are up to 120 bales, 71%. Take 2 more stacks. There we go. Now we're full. 168 bales in our stack. Now people will ask, are these bales going to rot if they are outside? No, they will not rot because these are not bales. These visually look like bales, but they are not actually in the game. Walked over here, if you came up here with a front loader, wheel loader, or skid steer, and basically put forks into this, you wouldn't be able to. These are not actual bales. You have to eject them in order to make them turn into real bales. We're going to hit menu, eject 4 bales, and now these are legitimate bales. Okay, you see the object too heavy, we get our hand grab. Come up here to these, we don't get anything. These are just visual low poly count visual models of a bale. These are legit bales, high polygon count. Okay, these have collisions. These are legit. Those are just low polygon visual representations of the bales. So these bales that are in the stack will not rot if rained on. These bales ejected definitely will if you're playing with seasons on a map with a seasons mask. That is the Bale Stacks mod. Again, I have a much thorougher explanation of this in the dedicated mod review that is in my mod review playlist. Next up, we're going to take a look at the shelf storage. Yet again, by GTX. This mod is available for PC only, and it comes with 3 different shelves. Here on a miscellaneous again, we have the farm product shelf. It is good for seed, solid fertilizer, and lime pallets. Then we have the farm products liquid shelf. It is good for liquid fertilizer and herbicide. And then we have the animal feed shelf, which is good for chicken food, pig food, and horse food. Each shelf is $6,000 a piece, and each shelf can store a different amount of product depending on the shelf. So for example, this shelf here, it can store 48 pallets of chicken food, 48 pallets of horse food, and 48 pallets of pig food. What we're going to do is we're going to spawn a pig food pallet. closer so it spawns into the trigger. Pig food. And, well, I guess I can't spawn chicken food and food. Yeah. Alright, so I guess I can't spawn the other ones at any rate. It's fine and dandy. So basically the way this works is we put your pallets of pig food in here, your pallets of horse food, and wheat. Just like the bale stacks, those are not legitimate bags. Those are just visual representations of the bags. This is a physical pallet. Come up here, you hit R, and basically you can eject chicken, horse, or pig food, and you can basically eject it, and there it goes, pops back out. This is also a last in, first out concept, so the last pallet of pig food that you put in here will be the first pallet of pig food that you get out. If you put pallets of pig food, chicken, or horse food in of different quantities, it will store it in the exact quantity that you put in it. And depending on what order you put those in, at some point when you eject those pallets, you'll eject them in the various quantities that you put them in. The liquid farm goods pallet, or shelf, is going to hold liquid fertilizer and herbicide. Okay, here we have 3 pallets of herbicide and 4 pallets of liquid fertilizer. Once again, these are not legitimate pallets. These are just visual representations. They are locked away in storage script. Walk up here, we hit R, and we can eject out our liquid fertilizer. 2 pallets are gone. 2 pallets are over here, and now once again, these are legitimate pallets that we can pick up and make use of. This will hold 32 liquid and 32 herbicide pallets. Then we have seed, lime, and fertilizer pallet storage shelf. Again, these hold 48, just like the pig food, chicken food, and horse food pallets. Let's go and put down a couple pallets of seed. Let's put down a couple pallets of fertilizer and a couple pallets of lime. Okay. We have our lime bags, fertilizer bags, and we have our seed bags. Come up here, we hit R, we can eject those. Like so. And there they are. Eject our lime. Or we can eject our seeds. Now, I have different textures installed on my game. That's why these pallets look different. And what you saw is that when these went into the storage, they visually displayed these custom textures. Okay, so if you have modded pallets and you put these in here, all right, you're going to visually see your modded pallets and bags in the shelves. So once again, I did a special mod video just on these shelves. You can find that and more details on the storage shelves over at my mod review playlist. Next up, we have the egg storage hut, also by GTX. It's here under miscellaneous. We have the egg storage hut. Let's go ahead and put it down there. All of these mods, I haven't shown you, they do rotate on their center. This is a little building. Come up here, center mouse click to open the door. Back out, we can center mouse click to shut the door. And basically the way this works is this will store 110 egg boxes. Okay? This will store up to 110 of our egg boxes. Go ahead and spawn a few. And let's take a look here at the fan. Okay, so as soon as we put some egg boxes in the building, here we have some egg boxes, 5 of them. As soon as we put those boxes in the building, our little air conditioner turned on. Keep them nice and cool. Get them out, we come up here, we hit R. Say we want to eject some number of boxes. Then they just spawn right here. We took all 5 out, the air conditioner turns off. Put them back in. Getting him close to the door. So, and the air conditioner is back on. Now, something else about this mod is in winter, if it snows, snow will accumulate on the roof. That is the egg storage hut. Again, I did a dedicated mod review on this. Now, this one is also a part of a mod review I did on the wool storage shed. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So once again, we go to placeables and miscellaneous. We have the wool storage mod. Put that right here. This mod is also by GTX and is available for PC only. What this will do is it will store up to 110 wool pallets. Go ahead and spawn in some wool. Okay, so you can see we have 2 wool pallets, 1,000 liters apiece, so a total of 2,000 liters. Stored in here, we just get the canvas bundle of wool. And then over here, we have a visual representation of one of the empty cage pallets that the wool typically comes in. Spawn in a few more. Okay, so now we have 8 pallets of wool. You can see we have a couple pallets represented over here. Just like all these other storage mods, we come up here, we hit R, get a menu, we can pick that we want to eject out 3. 3 disappear, the last 3 to come in, and then they're stacked over here for easy pickup and transport to sell points. So guys, that is the wool storage by GTX. We have one more mod that we're going to talk about before we break out of the game and then go check out the GEOs that were released this week, and that is the increased fuel consumption mod. Really don't have a good way of showing this to you that I could think of, so we're just going to drive around a little bit and talk about this mod. So what the increased fuel consumption does is it increases the fuel usage of all motor vehicles. So, for example, it takes the in-game fuel setting of default. So fuel usage at default or low, okay? So if you have your fuel usage set to default, it will basically increase the fuel usage by 300%. And you will need to refuel your tractor 3 times faster than without this mod. Now, if you have your fuel usage set to low, then it will basically double the fuel consumption. You will have to fill the tractor twice as often as you would typically. So this is a mod by Realismus Modding, and it is available for PC only. It is a script mod, and some folks have had the impression that fuel usage, even under default, isn't high enough. Feel that they need to refuel their tractor more frequently than they really are needing to do in game. So what this does is basically increase under default. You need to refuel 3 times more often, increases the fuel usage by 300%. And if you have the fuel usage set to low, it will increase the fuel usage by 200%, or basically doubling the amount of fuel you're going to burn at any one point in time. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and break out of the game, and we're going to basically start comparing the 3 GEOs that got released this week. I'll be right back. So as you can see here, we have in the upper left the standard Sesons GEO that comes standard with Sesons, and then in the lower right portion of the screen we have the Hampshire, or the Hampshire Sesons GEO, and overall these are very, very similar to each other with a few minor changes. So we can see here that in spring our oats, we can plant oats all spring, and we can basically plant oats from the end of summer, late summer, through all of autumn. Now down here with this geo, we cannot plant oats in early spring, and we cannot plant oats in late autumn. So we have a slightly shorter planting schedule from spring, and a slightly shorter planting schedule in autumn also for oats with the Hampshire geo. We also happen to have something very interesting here. We have a small period of time here where we cannot harvest oilseed radish, which is kind of interesting because we don't harvest oilseed radish anyway. So why that is there, that is kind of interesting. Now the planting temperatures appear to be the same for both geos, and neither geo is going to allow the planting of cotton or sugarcane. Now this is a rather interesting geo here, the Austria geo. In the upper left, once again, we have the standard Sesons geo, and in the lower right, we have the Austria geo. This is by Deere modding, and you can see quite a difference. So this is modeled after having very hot summers, according to the description, and only moderate cold winters. But if you look at the germination temperature of both of these geos, you can see that the germination temperature is cooler for the Austria geo than it is for the standard geo, and the planting and harvesting windows are way, way different. So we have a much narrower window of harvest time. We have basically from midsummer to late summer to harvest our wheat, barley, and oats. We have midsummer to early autumn to harvest our canola. Our sunflowers, you better get them in early autumn, because that is the only time that you can harvest those. Soybeans, you're talking early autumn and mid-autumn, and corn, we're talking mid and late autumn. Now as far as an autumn planting schedule, the only thing you're going to be planting in autumn is going to be wheat, barley, oat, and canola. And take a look, they are very, very narrow as far as the planting times. Now, once again, cotton and sugarcane are not available on this particular geo. Now, we had something rather interesting this week in that we have both an Austria geo and an Upper Austria geo released by two totally different mod authors, and the planting and harvesting schedules are completely different. So now we are looking at the Upper Austria geo in the lower right corner of the screen. In the upper left corner of the screen, we once again have our standard Sesons GEO to compare it to, and what we can see is that the planting germination temperatures are much cooler for the Upper Austria GEO as compared to the base game GEO. We also have a shorter planting window for our wheat and barley. We can only plant our wheat and barley in early and mid-spring, whereas with the standard GEO we have all of spring. But we also have a very long planting schedule. We can plant our wheat and barley from late summer all the way through the end of early winter. We have a very long harvest schedule also. We can harvest actually a little earlier than the base geo by harvesting in late summer, and we can continue harvesting all the way through the end of early winter. This geo, once again, we cannot harvest cotton or sugarcane. The canola planting and harvesting schedule is a little interesting. We can't plant canola until late summer through mid-autumn, and then we can't harvest canola until late summer up until the end of early winter. So if you want to plant canola, you're going to be waiting a full year from plant to harvest. We've got a fairly narrow window of planting for sunflowers, but a decent window of harvest. We have a nice long planting window for soybeans and corn, compared to the standard GEO, and a fairly nice harvesting window also for our soybeans and corn. So guys, that is going to do us for the end of this weekend roundup. Again, these are all the mods newly released in the Giants Mod Hub for September 30th through October 4th, 2019. Let me know, guys, in the comments what you thought was your favorite mod or mods released this week, and what do you think of this interesting contradiction between the Austria GEO and the Upper Austria GEO. And until next time, happy farming.